All right, we should be recording. Hey, you guys. So I wanted to go ahead and get you started on the nutrition for this program. So if you purchase the challenge pack, well, first of all, if you did not get these, okay, so like I'm looking here at these things. If you did not get these, plus the dry erase calendar for the fitness portion of it that's downstairs that I totally forgot to get for this call, you should have also like a rolled up dry erase calendar. But if you did not get these, all right, do not fear. You can get on Beachbody On Demand. I'll show you where to get those. But that's what we're going to cover today. We've already covered the getting started one. If you're in the challenge group, if not, you can go over that on your own. And then here is the transformation tracker, where you will put your measurements, which you absolutely have to do. It's a non-negotiable. That is, you have to do that for the program. I want to see the before and after inches. You don't have to show me pictures. You don't have to show me weight, but I want to see those inches. And then this is your contract to yourself. Like, you are going to commit to transform in all of these areas, and you're even going to sign it and date it. Once again, you don't have to share those with me, but you need those for yourself. And then throughout the rest of the book, you will be tracking every single day how you feel, what you ate, what workout you did, if you did it, how you felt during that workout, all of the things. And so that is what you are going to be tracking. So the workouts are easy. You push play. I mean, when I say easy, you know, that's relative. But you push play and he tells you what to do. That part is somewhat easy in terms of me coaching you through that. The nutrition is usually the part that trips people up the most. So I wanted to show you guys what I'm going to be doing to tackle nutrition. So I want you to be able to tackle it really well yourself. So I'm actually going to share my screen because I want to show you where you can access all of these things on Beachbody On Demand. So here's Beachbody On Demand. You all have access to this on your phone through the app, Beachbody On Demand app, or you can access it here on a computer. That's beachbodyondemand.com. That's where I'm at. And so once you sign in, this is what it will show you. Okay, here's all the programs. Here's some articles from Beachbody On Demand's blog, all sorts of wonderful things. We are going to click on, see, like here it is. And it says coming soon because it won't actually be here till the 14th. So you're going to click on that. Something that's really important to note is it goes straight to the workout list here. And you have the Transform 20 sample workout. You have the preview, which is literally just like the commercial for it. You have Shaun T here in Get Ready to Transform. And then you have how to modify and then step safety. Those are all really important things to know so that we don't break our necks. That is not our goal as we transform. And then before you transform is the two sample, like the short sample workouts. And then this is also very important too. This is Meet the Cast. I think it's really just fun. Interesting, funny side note. Our CEO, Carl Deichler, who puts all of this together and has made all this possible, he secretly, not so secretly now, always wanted to be a film director. That was like his second choice in life. And so he does these where he goes behind the scenes with the cast, and it's kind of like his own little reality TV show that he has here within Beachbody, which is awesome because it helps us when we can see that the people behind the camera are also just real people with real problems too. So I really love that aspect. But if you go to program materials here, I'm going to be able to share my screen. Here's the getting started guide. So if you did not actually get these in the mail, like if you ordered one of the challenge packs or just the early access where you didn't get those, you can print those off here. So there's the getting started guide. Then the nutrition guide is here. Let's see. Hold on, I've got music playing in the background and I love it, but it is distracting me right now. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. So Transform 20 Beachbody Nutrition Guide. I love this. I think it makes it so simple. So here's how it works. First of all, you're going to go down here. And there used to be an actual mathematic equation that you had to do, but now it's just, hey, if you weigh in this calorie or in this area of weight, then this is the plan you follow. So women, 168 pounds or less, is Plan A, and it gives you a roundabout of calories because we are not actually counting calories on this plan. But what that tells you is that if you eat according to those containers, that is around the calorie count that you will be eating. That's like a guesstimate. And then Plan B is 168.5. I mean, it's very specific numbers right there, to 195 pounds. And then it just keeps going up. So depending on those, on your weight, is what plan you will be on. Now, here's something to remember. I want to go ahead and clarify this before we get any further. Some of you may start on Plan A. That's great, but I want you to know very quickly that in this program or any other program, especially when you start incorporating weights, when you start building muscle and you start burning calories, your body can sense that. And what will happen is at first, that Plan A will be plenty of food. Like you'll be fine. But then a few weeks in, you'll be starving, all right? And this is not every time. So this is where I just say, please listen to your body. Some of you will be able to do Plan A for the whole 6 weeks with no issues other than the occasional period cravings or whatever that will happen. You know, like we're gonna have cravings. We are human beings. But some of us will be able to be full on Plan A the whole time and see results, okay? Some of us will get into like week 3 and we will be starving. When you start getting hungry and you are hungry for 3 days consecutively, or even 2 days, move up to Plan B. If you starve yourself, your body is super smart and it says, huh, okay, we are using more calories than we are spending to the point that we are hungry. If we are hungry, then we need to hold on to everything possible. So what it does is it will not let go of any fat. You will not be burning any fat. You will actually be adding, it's the craziest thing how our bodies are smart. It will actually start adding fat because it won't let any of that food go. So the trigger, this is what's so funny, the trigger to let your body go back to ease and let all the stress release is to eat more, because then it goes, okay, false alarm, we are not starving. There is enough food. We can do this. We can let go of the fat again. So if you are starving for like 2 to 3 days and you're just like, I'm so hungry, all I can think about is food. And I'm not talking about I'm so hungry, all I can think about is pizza, but like you're like so hungry that you're just like, I just want more carrots. Then eat more carrots. Like eat, like you are not a hero for starving yourself. This is a guideline, but if you are hungry, I want you to always go up a calorie bracket until you are not hungry, because it will do no service to your body or your mind. So that is where with Beachbody, I love it. It is about eating and fueling. It is not about starving and cutting yourself off. Now, let's talk about cheats really quick, since I just said pizza, because that's obviously what we're all thinking. It is okay, and I will too. It is okay on a Friday night if your friends are coming over and they say, hey, can we bring a pizza, to eat a slice of pizza. But I do challenge you not to lose your mind. I'm one of those people that I lose my mind. And so here's what I did the other night. And this literally happened to me. That's why I gave that exact scenario. I had friends coming over and they wanted to bring pizza. And by all means, I wanted them to do that. So when they came, I had one slice and I made, because I wanted to be prepared. If you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. I prepared some carrots and homemade hummus that I really, really liked. And by the way, if you don't buy those like carrot chips, then you're missing out. Carrot sticks, I'm done with those. Carrot chips are where it's at. But anyways, I had that set aside so that I could have something that I could mindlessly snack on and not overdo it, okay? So I had my slice of pizza, but I had my carrots and hummus while everyone else was eating their chips and salsa and pimento cheese dip, because my husband's obsessed with that stuff. And I have a few scoops every now and then, but I can't let myself go crazy with it because obviously it's horrible. So anyways, I digress. Yes, you can have moments where you plan to cheat. Here's where it's not okay. It's not okay if you're like, man, I'm just bored and I'm going to the store and that looks fun. I think I'll get that. Like this candy bar looks awesome. Even if it's organic and low sugar or whatever, you need to plan to have your treats. That's when it's more fun anyway, because then you can be like, oh, all right, like I worked for this, I earned this, like this is part. because here's what's funny. If you don't plan a cheat and you eat it, that's when you feel guilty and you feel like you have failed. But if you plan your treat, then the beauty of that is it's part of your discipline. Your discipline was to eat that slice of pizza. You see where I'm going with this? It's all in the mindset. Like I never cut things out completely, because then when I do have the occasional something, because I'm going to reach my breaking point at some point. I don't want to feel like a failure. The goal is to never feel like a failure. It is to plan that treat so that you can enjoy it and then move on and say, yeah, I still eat pizza. Like I'm still a human being. I still have things that I'm like aren't perfect and not organic and not whatever. On top of that, guys, I want you, some of you are going to sit here and hear me say words like organic and non-GMO. Shoot for those when you can. That is not the end all be all though. All right. If everything could be organic, that would be absolutely like a dream come true to me. But I'm also understanding that you guys are like working people who are budget friendly. And so you have to get organic when you can. And sometimes you're just not going to be able to get that. And that's okay. As long as you're still getting vegetables, like it's never going to hurt just to get some good vegetables and fruits and those things. Additionally, yeah, no, I'm not going to go there. So let's just talk more about the eating plan. So here is where you are. Don't starve yourself. Plan your cheats, that or your treats, however you want to call those. Some people like refuse to call them cheats because it makes them feel guilty. So plan your treats. All right, so here are the nutritionals you can have. There's Shakeology. Shakeology does count as a red container. It is a protein. Whatever you put into Shakeology also counts depending on what the count is. So if I put half a cup of blueberries in my Shakeology, that's going to be one red, half a purple. I personally love to drink Shakeology and like eat my fruit with it on the side. I don't like to put fruit in my Shakeology. If I do, it's like half a frozen banana and that's it. But everyone is so different with how they make it. Some people love it really thick, like ice cream. That gags me. Like I want it to be really thin, like chocolate milk. So I literally only make mine with frozen spinach. Side note, I buy the fresh spinach and then I freeze it. It just tastes better to me that way for some reason. If you buy the already frozen stuff, it's really like spinachy tasting. But anyway, frozen spinach, a green container of frozen spinach, and then my Shakeology, and I actually do water and ice, and that's it. Like I love mine very, very thin. Sometimes I add spices or a different liquid, but other than that, I'm pretty plain Jane. Also, these beach bars, these count as half a protein and half a yellow, and then 1 teaspoon. Just so you guys know, I've tried both of these flavors. I go back and forth on which one's my favorite because it just depends on my mood, to be honest. But I do love these. And if you are a coach, if you sign up for the coach discount, they come to about $2 a piece, which if you go to a grocery store is very standard. But at least here, you know, you're getting your container counts and it's clean nutrition. That is why of all the different companies out there, I went with Beachbody because I saw the most sustainable ingredients, the most organic, and the most like clean and natural ingredients being used. And that's why I continue to stay with them. I'm not going to give you guys anything I don't believe in. Okay, Beachbody Performance. I personally use Recover. I love the chocolate better, but the orange is also good if you like creamsicles. I use Hydrate during my workout, and I use Energize for my pre-workout. Not every day. I don't use the pre-workout every single day. You're not really supposed to. So I probably go through about a can of this every 2 months, if that even. Sometimes it takes me like 3 months to get through it. Creatine, I would not recommend for this program because you're not going to be lifting very heavy, and women in Plan A don't need creatine anyway. And then Recharge is before bed. That is great if you want to use it. I personally just don't feel like I need it at this point. But it wouldn't hurt. I would do it if I had it, but you know. Here, now getting to the meat of all of this, or I guess the veggies and fruits really at this point. This is what you put in your container. If it's a veggie, you stuff it in there, it's a veggie. Now, if you'll look, some of you are like, I don't have the cups. That's fine because this gives you the actual measurement anyway. So like Brussels sprouts, 1 cup chopped or 5 medium Brussels sprouts equals 1 green container of Brussels sprouts. Tomatoes, 1 cup chopped. So basically any cut, like any vegetable, you can measure in a cup and that equals 1 green container. If to be totally honest with you guys, I usually stick with plan A, but then I just eat as many vegetables as I want, as long as they're not like covered in butter or oils and that kind of stuff, as long as they're cooked correctly. I'm a veggie person. I love them. And so I eat more vegetables than I'm supposed to, but that's okay. And here's why. First of all, they are carbs, but they're not carbs enough to spike your blood sugar or anything. But the only reason they give you a limit is because they're making you eat at least 3 green containers or at least 4 green containers. It's more of a at least eat this and not a don't eat more than this like carbs would be. All right, fruits, that's also a cup. So 2 cups of fruit a day in my plan. Something for you guys, it might be 3 cups a day. Literally all of these can fit in that container. Proteins, this is very straightforward. It gives you the measurements beside. And something I wanted to point out to you guys is the foods at the top of the list. So let's look at carbs here. The sweet potato on this list is the most nutrient-dense carb on this list. So what that means is if you want to pick the healthiest carb, pick from the top of the list. So that's sweet potato, yams, plantains, quinoa, beans, lentils, organic edamame, and that's very important that you get edamame and soy organic because it's like the most targeted plant out there in terms of pesticides. And then it goes down the list from there. Notice that down here at the very bottom is wheat-containing things such as pasta or couscous, crackers, bread, pita bread, waffles. That's because we know that you can have those in moderation, but we don't want to eat from the bottom of the list very often. I would very much encourage you guys not to eat very much of the bottom of the list. You can. That's the beauty of this. You can, but try to pick from the top. Same thing here with proteins. So interestingly enough, sardines is at the top. Like sardines are the most nutrient dense. I just don't understand that, but it is. And then from there it goes to skinless, chicken and turkey breast. And it just goes from there. You can read that later at your own pace. Healthy fats, oils and nut butters, free foods, seeds and dressings. Very basic. Here is, now I will say this about Shakeology bases and milks, okay? I have never counted almond milk as a carb, okay? So like here, low-fat milk, unsweetened almond milk, which unsweetened almond milk, it looks like it's just a teaspoon. So that's, I would actually count that. That would be correct. Soy milk, coconut milk would be a teaspoon. Rice milk is a carb, and coconut water is a carb, half of one, and low-fat milk is a carb. So never mind. I do agree with this list now. It's changed. This is correct. So follow this. Okay, never mind. Because I was going to say unsweetened almond milk was never. It didn't make sense that it was a carb to me, but it's not a carb. It's a teaspoon. So follow this list as well. All right, here is an example of like a day, all right? So this is for, what is this, a plan A? Yeah, plan A person. You wake up, your breakfast is a chocolate peanut butter crunch Shakeology, which the recipe is below for that one, and a cup of grapes. Obviously, they're not mixing those. They're eating those separately. But that's how I like to eat my Shakeology, is I like to have my Shakeology and then a little snack that I'm eating with it. For a snack, they have a 2-ounce smoked salmon, 1 rice cake. For lunch, you have a veggie turkey wrap, which the recipe is below, and then no sugar added applesauce. You can make it homemade, but you can also buy that. Like to me, that's not something that's gonna like kill you if you buy unsweetened applesauce. 12 almonds, and that's your snack. And then from there, it goes into day 2. Oh, your dinner is protein-packed spinach salad. Once again, recipes below, and then day 2 and day 3. All right, so they just kind of give you a sample of how that works. But I wanted to show you guys, here's all the recipes. Once again, I'm not gonna go over these. You can look over these and pick out the ones that you like. Those look bomb, by the way. I cannot wait to make those. So here's all the recipes, like super simple, like that looks delicious and it's healthy and it's good and it fits in the calorie counts and it's easy for teachers to eat in like 5 seconds when you're, because that's all you get is 5 seconds. But I wanted to show you guys this. Let me see. I think I'm gonna have to go all the way. Give me a second. Here we go. Okay, good. This will work. So I'm going to go back to beachbodyondemand.com. All right, you can do this 2 ways, but I'm going to show you the way I do it. Go to workouts. Click on that. Let it load. 10 years later. When you scroll down, you'll see, once again, all the programs. If you just keep going down for a little bit, you will see Autumn Calabrese. She's the girl that got me started on all of this, and her brother. That's her brother, Bobby. And that is their recipe cooking show called Fixate. And here's what's beautiful about this is she tells you to get rid, like what to get rid of in your pantry, what to keep. She explains how the containers work, so how this portion fix works, how to meal prep for 5 days of food, and that's another different way to meal prep. She gives you 2 different shows or options, and then she gives you breakfast recipes, and then you finish those and you go to entree recipes and sides and snacks. And like, guys, I'm looking at these recipes: Caribbean banana curry, Calabrese chicken, which I think it's like caprese chicken, I think is what it really is, but they play on words with their last name. Beef stew with sweet potatoes, bangers and mash, avocado chicken salad wrap. I mean, this is almond crusted chicken. This is good food. Like, we eat from this, 4 or 5 nights a week. My family does, and we love it. My husband never complains about the food. There's been like 2 or 3 recipes I've tried that I didn't totally love, but I mean, that's going to be any cookbook or anything that you go. But look here at program materials. Here is the print. So those were all videos, but here's the actual printout of the recipe, and I want to show you how this works. So like, once again, here's the cover. Look, there's over 258 recipes, just FYI. Or 250, I guess. All right, so let's say I want to look at this frittata on page 22. So I'm going to go to 22. Here's frittata. It will show you that this is gluten-free. And so each one of these recipes will, and this one's vegetarian and gluten-free, so that's how that works. And then it shows you the container count for those. It gives you how many servings. So like, if you're feeding a lot of people, you need to know how many servings. The prep time that it takes, cooking time, and then it gives you the container equivalents per serving. So you'll have to make sure with this frittata, for example, that you cut it into 6 servings so that you are getting the correct portions from it. But that's how that works. And so that's something, to be honest with you, that's something you can make on early Monday morning and then reheat the rest of the week as you go, or just kind of have that prepped out for you, and then give your kids whatever it is that they like to eat, or give them this, or just whatever. So that's an option. And so just so you guys know, like, for the most part, my husband eats the way that I eat. Like, I just want to kind of go into like me personally here for a sec. My husband eats the way that I eat. So like, I use these recipes all the time and he loves it. My kids eat the way that I eat. Now, my kids are really young. And so it's like always been that way for them, so it's not like they were 10 and 12 and I was like, hey, we're no longer eating this way anymore. We're eating this way now. So it's not like that. I didn't have that pushback. But I do have toddlers, so I still get pushed back quite a lot anyway. But regardless, when you do this slowly, your family will just start to kind of click. To be honest with you guys, my parents did this when I was young. We ate Hamburger Helper all the time, and there's no bashing my mother because I loved that stuff. But I remember when they started eating healthier, when my mom would say, okay, we're going to eat this tonight instead. And so like our family slowly started switching over, and I loved the food eventually. Like, it just kind of kept, she slowly would pull things out and add new things in. And that's okay to do that with your kids that way. So an example that I would give, because I do this with my kids sometimes too, like even though they're used to this, is sometimes I'll make a box of Annie's Little Bunnies mac and cheese, and they will eat it and I won't. And is it hard sometimes? Yeah, sometimes I want some mac and cheese from a box. But I don't, because I know that my goals are different, and I know that my kids can have carbs like that, and they run them off a lot more than I will. And that's okay. Their carb needs are a little bit different than mine. So I let them, I don't portion out anything for my kids. Okay. They eat the healthy food we eat. I do not measure anything out. I'm not strict with them on that. I'm the only one that really measures portions. Now, my husband, he'll eat You know, like for example, that frittata, he'll usually eat like 2 portions of that, and that will be his breakfast or whatever. So the portions will be different per the person in your family. That just takes a little bit of extra planning on your part, and that's okay. Like you're not going to get that like right off the bat. It's going to take a little bit. All right. Tomorrow I'm going to go into how I actually meal plan. So there's like there's all the information, but now I'm going to show you tomorrow how it is that I actually go into planning and writing things out and going grocery shopping. All right. Bye, guys.